Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Jubilee Party is planning to have a national delegates conference on Friday. So we only have a day to Jubilee's national delegates conference that was called by the party leader, former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And during that NDC, it's being said that they will make a decision if they will accommodate Fred Matiang'i into the party. So according to what was written in the Star newspaper, former President Uhuru Kenyatta will remain as the Jubilee Party leader, while Fred Okengo Matiang'i will be his deputy. And it's being said that out of that, they will apparently endorse Okengo Matiang'i to be Jubilee Party's candidate in the forthcoming 2027 general election.
Mwisho wa wiki hii Friday tuko na kongamano kubwa special NDC ambayo imeitishwa na party leader wetu Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, ili sisi kama wana Jubilee tuweze kupata mwelekeo kutoka kwake. Siasa angetaka kuona sikichezo namna gani na chama chake, na angetaka tuigie wajani na jia gani. Kwa hivyo ile mkutano itakuwako kule Friday. Wale watakuja lazima waitwe na uangalie kwa runinga yako ya simu. Hiyo ni runinga ama ni nini? Uangalie kwa simu. The invitation will come to your phone, because we only want members of Jubilee. I know in our last NDC we had Mheshimiwa Kalonzo with us, lakini baadaye tulipelekwa kotini. Mheshimiwa Matiang'i tulipelekwa kotini na watu wakasema, oh, you had strangers in your meeting. Kwa hivyo raundi hii hatutaki na unajua tumesubiriwa miaka 3 kotini. Nao hata Kalonzo chama yake wako mbele, kwa sababu sisi sasa ndio tunataka kuanza boli na tutaanza tumeituliza. Mimi nafikisha hapa. Mimi nilikuwa nimefaa sufuria tukiwa na Mheshimiwa Kalonzo. Na nimefurahia sana kwa sababu leo umekuja nimekuletea sufuria, lakini si wewe. Hii sufuria si yako, ni yangu. Lakini nilikuwa nataka kusema hivi, as I conclude. Hii sufuria mnaona, na wengine wanasema niliweka kwa kichwa. Nilisikia serikali ikisema ya kwamba sasa sufuria iko na chakula. I want to tell them the sufuria is still empty. Malawi uchaguzi imefanywa, na ule aliyekuwako amepelekwa nyumbani na sufuria kuwa empty. Hata hapa itakuwa vile vile. This sufuria is empty.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni giving updates on what to expect in the forthcoming NDC. But some days to the NDC, that was yesterday, Fred Okengo Matiang'i met some of the Jubilee members of parliament, former Jubilee members of parliament, former members of parliament from Central Kenya region, that is the Mount Kenya region. And apparently, that meeting has raised a lot of eyebrows due to the fact that some of the people whom he met are being accused of being moles within the United Opposition leadership. And one of the very guy that is raising a lot of eyebrows is Gunjiri Wambogo and Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni. So I want to read to you some of the statements that have been issued by those who are very close to the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and they are called Jubilee bloggers. Even though you might say that Jubilee bloggers have no say, but these people sway the opinion of the common man. And if you look at their followers, they have so many followers and they are influencers. So I want to read to you some of the issues that have been raised by some of the Jubilee bloggers that is raising a lot of eyebrows in the internet. One of the key Jubilee bloggers is someone known as Kansilanjoy. So Kansilanjoy states in his Facebook account that a political party is the point of convergence between a leader and his constituency. When a leader convinces people to follow his ideology, he or she locks them in a party. Matiang'i has no party. Matiang'i then claims to be a Gen Z and millennials candidate. These are tech-savvy people who are very active on social media. You would expect that the point of convergence between Matiang'i and his followers is the social media space. Matiang'i is not on social media, and isn't this man too mysterious? So he has raised some fundamental issues here that we need not to overlook. Because in this day and age, a presidential candidate would be expected to have an active social media account. A presidential candidate would be expected to have like a team, a communication team that is active in the social media platform. And a presidential candidate would be having like, what he has also said down there, a public address system, would be going around the country to meet people, and all these would be like streamed live in his social media platforms. Because if you look at what Trump did, Trump reached out to the Gen Zs and the millennials in social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and he's been boasting about it that he managed to capture the hearts of the Gen Zs and the millennials using TikTok. So another social media influencer or a Jubilee blogger who's also raised some key issues that we need to look at, and he's pointed to the association of Matiang'i with Mujiri Wambogo and Jeremiah Kioni, even though Jeremiah Kioni has been the Jubilee Secretary General for quite some time, or for so long, even when President Uhuru Kenyatta was the president of Kenya. But there is that perception that is being created that these two people, they call them as moles, and they are working for President William Ruto. So I want to read it, then we'll come and look at the nitty-gritties. Now, Ndung'u says, this is a statement, he said that the statement by Harun Ndung'u. My only allegiance to the Jubilee party was through the party leader, Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya, the one individual that will never be attacked on this page. I have diligently been his supporter since 2002 to date and beyond. I made a sober decision to be in the opposition a while back, and I have never had an opportunity to alter that. Today, my party, Jubilee Party, decided to dine with people who wish the current administration well and who spend their day-to-day life splitting the opposition. In my own capacity, I can never be on the same side with the current Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni and his newfound lover Mujiri Wambogo. I am ready to take all the shame of being called an indecisive person if it means joining the two. This timeline in the past has supported Dr. Fred Matiang'i for the presidency because it believed he was the man for the job. But unless he denounces the two, the support is hereby withdrawn, because there is no way he's going to win the presidency with the two in his camp. Unless the party acts and gets the two out of the picture, Matiang'i tawe. I would rather be 100% UDA than 20% UDA. You get it? So it seems like Matiang'i is getting some kind of backlash in his quest to be the Jubilee Party candidate. And this backlash is not only from the bloggers, but it is also from the current members of parliament who are affiliated to Rigathi Gachagua, because they are seeing the emergence of Matiang'i as the Jubilee presidential candidate as someone who is being used to interfere in the activities of DCP party within Mount Kenya region, because there will be competing interests. DCP wants to have total control of the Mount Kenya region, and they're looking at having numbers in terms of members of parliament, in terms of MCAs and governors. And just last week, Rigathi Gachagua talked of the same. Is talking of wanting to have numbers from the Mount Kenya region so that he can use that opportunity or use those numbers to bargain for power in the next government, that is whoever wins in 2027. But initially, Rigathi Gachagua had also talked of encouraging Matiang'i to consolidate his backyard, that is the Kisii region, before coming to the national table to bargain if he wants to be the candidate of the united opposition. Let's listen in.
That is the question we're asking. You know, this Matiang'i guy, okay, fine. He seems qualified. He seems robust. He seems very active. He looks decisive. He looks tough. He has qualities to be president. But does he have the necessary support from home? That if we add our support, we can win. Because we don't want to lose also. So if Matiang'i does not rally the Kisii behind him, my friend, he'll have no chance. Itatoka wapi? Lazima kwanza, for him to be a serious contender, he must put the entire Kisii on the table. Then he stands a good chance of being backed by others. Mimi huwezi kuniambia Rigathi Gachagua niko na watu wote nimeweka pamoja niunge mkono yule ambaye hana watu wake wote. I cannot. I'll be a fool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Rigathi Gachagua then. And after that, Rigathi Gachagua has also come out openly to say that he's going to vie for the presidency in 2027. So these two issues are giving Matiang'i some form of headache as he goes into the next general election. So he needs to, one, appease some of the Jubilee diehard followers. And by appeasing them, some of these guys are raising key issues. They are accusing some of the members who had decamped from Jubilee party, the likes of Ngujiri Wamboko, for coming back to destroy the party. And they are calling them moles. And they are saying that the likes of Ngujiri Wamboko are working for President William Ruto. But how will Matiang'i maneuver around all this? Because one, he needs the support of the Mount Kenya region. And he can only get the support of Mount Kenya region if he works with someone from that region. And the only person he can work with, who can support him and who can finance him, is the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And if he goes on and works with the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, other members of the united opposition, like the likes of Rigathi Gachagua, are feeling not comfortable with him coming into Mount Kenya region with the Jubilee party. They would rather Matiang'i comes up with his own political party, use that political party to galvanize his base, which is the Kisii region and Nyanza, then come with that to the negotiating table ahead of 2027 general election. So for Matiang'i, it's a do or die. And he will have to make some key decisions that might spoil his chances of getting total support of the Mount Kenya region. That is, if he comes with Jubilee party. But if he comes with another party, the problem is he might not get the financial support and network that former President Uhuru Kenyatta has. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee party already has networks within Mount Kenya region. And he also has the financial muscle that Matiang'i needs ahead of 2027 general election, because that financial muscle will help him to to campaign within Mount Kenya region and even the whole country as a whole. So it's a catch-22 situation for Matiang'i. How is going to maneuver this will either galvanize his support in the united opposition or will break the united opposition as we go into the next general election. So we'll keep monitoring what will happen on Friday, if he will be endorsed and if he will accept to run on a Jubilee party. And we'll try and analyze the reaction of other members of parliament, other members of the united opposition to this endorsement of Matiang'i on Friday. Because as Jeremiah Kioni has said, they have not invited the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, they have not invited Rigathi Gachagua. So it will be a Jubilee party affair. But we'll try to get reaction from other members of the united opposition. So if you like our content, guys, ladies and gentlemen, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post such videos. Until next time, bye-bye.